Yes, people, what's happening? I'm Adam, you already know that. This is AdamMcKola TV, you already know that, except we're not on TV, we're only on YouTube. Unless you put the YouTube app on your TV, then you know you can get me on your television. But anyway, we're here, and we're here to talk about Harold Kane. Yes, Harry Kane has refused to train for Tottenham Hotspur today in a bid to force through a move. And we need to talk about this because not only is it big Premier League news, it could be affecting the title race, which we hope to be involved in this season. But I also want to have a little rant and a little chat and a little vent about this situation because it's really pissing me off. It's really, to coin a phrase from Peter Griffin, grinding my fucking gears, this one. Now, I had this debate with Rory before on the kickoff about Harry Kane and how he was treated like a saint. And it's continuing right now, isn't it? It is continuing right now. Not particularly from Rory. I haven't seen his opinion on this one yet. He's been avoiding those WhatsApp messages. But everywhere you look, it's all the same, innit? And you just think, imagine this was Raheem Sterling. Imagine this was Wayne Rooney. Imagine this was Paul Pogba. Imagine this was Cristiano Ronaldo. Imagine the kind of stories that will be coming about these players. Imagine refusing to train, doing up interviews with Gary Neville on the golf course talking about leaving. But Harry Kane's always professional. Harry Kane always loves his club. Harry Kane's just doing it for the better of his career. Now listen, I agree with that. I think Harry Kane is doing it for the better of his career. I believe Harry Kane is, you know, I can understand his frustrations at still being at Spurs. Did I expect him to do this? Probably not. Probably. Footballers don't surprise me. But the way Harry Kane is painted in this whole media and by his mates down south is a joke. It's a joke. He failed to turn up for training today. Like he does in every major final that he attends. He fails to turn up. He failed to turn up today. And yet we won't see anything about his character, his attitude, his personality, his loyalty being coming into question, you know, whether he's doing it just for the money. We won't hear those kind of narratives around Harry Kane. And that's one of the things that pisses me off, bro. Because if this was, like I said, Raheem Sterling, a young black man, Wayne Rooney, a young working class Scouser. Well, he was a young working class Scouser. He's not young and he's not working class anymore. But you get my drift. If this was Cristiano Ronaldo, a flashy little Portuguese fella, the narrative would be different. We know it would. If he played for Man United, like Cristiano Ronaldo and Wayne, the narrative would be different. We've seen how they do Marcus Rashford already. But Harry Kane, he can do interviews with Gary Neville and say he wants to leave his club. He can refuse to train, fail to turn up in big games when it matters for his club and country, and nothing said. No questions are asked. He's given a free pass. Now, look, I don't care about all of that stuff. I just find the inconsistencies madness. I totally understand why Harry Kane doesn't want to be at Spurs. I totally understand this is part of the game. I totally understand this is part of football. Now, if I was a Spurs fan, I'd feel disappointed. I'd feel disappointed about that. That Harry Kane's not training, he's not turning up at that. Because that isn't a good look. But I also understand it. It happens in football. Players want to get transfers. They'll try and force their hand. Harry Kane wants to go to Man City. He'll try and force Spurs' hand. Spurs will think we can sit tight. He's been professional before. Harry Kane's going to say, fuck you then. So, I get it. I just wish everyone was consistent with this shit, man. Because it's so tiring. As for City, I read a theory that said, and it got me excited, yeah. That Manchester City, they wanted Kane. They couldn't afford both Grealish and Kane. But they couldn't justify it or something. Even that, you know, my argument, well, this theory falls flat here because they probably can't afford both of them. They could only afford Kane or Grealish. The Kane move faltered because Spurs were playing hardball. So they eyed up Grealish in an attempt to get Kane to force this move. Kane's now forcing the move, which means they could turn away from Grealish, go back to Kane, and Grealish could sign a new deal at Aston Villa. It's just one of the theories that I've read which got me quite excited about the prospect of Jack Grealish, one of my favourite players, not turning up at Manchester City. Obviously them getting Harry Kane, still a formidable signing. What does it say for the rest of the Premier League, this, that and the other? You know, as long as Man United do their business, and if you're a fan of Chelsea, as long as Chelsea do that, you know, whoever you support, as long as United do their business and we get our holding midfielder and we get, you know, those reinforcements, maybe Ruben Neves and Kieran Trippier, Camavinga and Kieran Trippier come in, or I don't know, something like that. If we can get that done, don't worry about everyone else. Just sort your team out. Make sure you've got every position filled, because we've got a very good side. They can't play all their players at once. Now we've got a good squad, building a good squad at the moment in some positions. But, you know, if you get that central defensive midfielder, we'll be in a much stronger position as well. So yes, it's worrying if City are getting these players. Yes, you know, they're getting a formidable striker who's one of the best in the world, if not the best. I'd say Lewandowski probably just pipping him at this moment in time. I constantly think it's a race like that, and my opinion on it changes all the time on who's the best, but he's one of, do you know what I mean? And it will be difficult for us to keep up with that, but I think City signing him maybe changes the way they play a little bit. The others score less goals, he scores more goals. 21 is coming, man. I don't need to tell you twice. I don't know how, on a video where Harry Kane is forcing his way to Man City, have I found optimism in us winning the league. But I have. There you go. But yeah, man, let us know what you think about Harry Kane and this forcing a move to Man City. Do you agree with him? What do you make of the inconsistencies in the reporting, in the punditry, in all that? I don't like to say, oh, the media and this, that. Obviously, I use that phrase at times, but it kind of sounds like a conspiracy theory. It's not a conspiracy theory. It's just facts. Man like Harry Kane will get treated better. He's from down south. He's a white man. You know, journalists will look at him differently than they do other people, for many various different reasons. Like, and now you look at it, and it's poor Harry Kane being held to ransom at Spurs. Let him go. Free Harry. I say let him rot. Anyway, guys, make sure you're keeping it like, comment, share and subscribe. I've been AdamMcKola. I'm out of here.